Do you want to read more books this year? Hi, my name is Angela, and I want to share with you 3 ways that I personally use to read more books in 1 year than I thought possible. The first way is to use a reading challenge. You can find them online, just search for it. But 2 years ago, I found the modernmrsdarcy.com reading challenge. And I decided to do it because my reading life was pretty much non-existent. As a little girl, I loved to read, but I guess going through high school, college, beyond that, I stopped reading. Unless it's an assigned book that I had to read, I wasn't reading for fun. I wasn't reading because I wanted to. Just it was bad. But I did the reading challenge, and I actually completed it. I read 12 books that year, which is a lot for me. So the next year, which was last year, I decided to double that number, 12 books to 24 books. Modern Mrs. Darcy has a reading challenge every year, and last year she put out 2. Reading for fun and reading for growth. Now, I didn't complete either of those reading challenges, but I actually read 30 books. My goal was 24, I read 30, and that felt so amazing. So find a reading challenge that intrigues you and print it out, put it somewhere where you can see. And don't feel pressured to complete the challenge, but use it as a guide or as an inspiration to pick up a new book. That's the first way. The second way is to stop reading books that you don't like. I've always felt the pressure to finish every book that I start. And what happens is, if I don't like a book, I'll drag it on. Like, reading it will take like the better part of the year because I felt like I had to finish it. But no one's grading me on it. I don't have to write an essay on it. It's not assigned reading. So I stopped reading books that I'm not into. And on the blog on AnnaAngela.com, I'll put a link down below, I will share with you what books I actually stopped reading last year. Okay, last way that I did to read more books in 1 year than I thought possible was to read books from the same author. I personally have a goal to read a book by Jane Austen and by C.S. Lewis every year because I love those 2 authors. But last year, I started reading Ted Dekker. He wrote 80/30, and oh, that was a great book. And I found out there's a sequel, 80/33, so I read that one too. And then I found Hacker in my local bookstore, so I bought that and read it and loved it. And then I found The Martyr Song in the library, so I borrowed that and read it. That's more of a short story, but I just love Ted Dekker's writing, so I read more of his stuff. So that's another way that you can read more books, is find an author that you love and read his or her other books that maybe you've never even heard of. And if that author has a series, even better. So those are 3 ways that you can read more books in 1 year, and I hope that you will increase your reading life and that you will just fall in love with books. And if you liked these 3 ways, if you found them helpful, please like this video and hit subscribe, and please pass along the love of reading to the other people in your life. Bye.